sir. I'm going to introduce. Hopefully I don't look as tired as I am. Yes, I'm freezing. I wish I had gloves. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Oh, wait, this ain't gonna work now. Good morning, everyone. I was about to say, I need some life. We about to talk about dropping some money. I need some excitement. All right. Well, good morning and Happy New Year. And I'm going to slide my readers on. I couldn't think of a better way to start the new year than announcing more federal dollars coming right here to Texas' 30th Congressional District. Yes. And more specifically coming to South Dallas. As we stand here today at the historic Forest Theater, a theater that has meant so much to this community for so many years, we can see the need for investment. And that includes our infrastructure, our roads, our streets, our highways, sidewalks, and more. Our streets are what connects us, whether it's traveling from one neighborhood to the other, getting to the grocery store as soon as we get a few more built, and we got one coming. That's right, thank you. Making your way to one of the city's many entertainment districts or just enjoying an evening walk, having safe streets matters. That is especially true for Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, a connective artery in the heart of our city, which is in bad need of repair, resulting in several injuries and fatalities over the years. According to the City of Dallas's Vision Zero Action Plan and the North Central Texas Council of Governments Regional Pedestrian Safety Action Plan, the corridor has the highest rate of fatalities and severe injury crashes involving pedestrians in North Texas. Thanks to the U.S. Department of Transportation and President Biden, the City of Dallas, the COG, the Federal Highway Administration, and other stakeholders, this $21.8 million grant, that's right, yes, clap it up, from the administration's Safe Streets for All program will help the city address crash rates and pedestrian safety by implementing safety improvements like reduced lanes with separated bike lanes to lower speeds, improve crosswalks, lighting upgrades, traffic signal enhancements, and enhanced access to transit. All in all, this will be a transformational project in a neighborhood that has historically gone without and needed the resources to keep up with rapid development happening. I must also recognize the additional investment and commitment by the City of Dallas. Come on, City of Dallas. Listen, see, and y'all see, they right here up front. They want to be acknowledged because they putting it down as well. Thank you so much to the City of Dallas for your $5.25 million, as well as our friends at DART, because they are giving us $200,000 for bus shelter upgrades along the respective corridors. This is what it looks like when a team comes together and has a dream. As I close, I want to again recognize all the public servants here today for helping break the cycle of underinvestment and neglect that has plagued communities like ours for too long. From the U.S. Department of Transportation to the City of Dallas to President Biden himself, this award is a sign of the commitment to the people of Dallas and North Texas, a recognition of past harm, and most importantly, an understanding that a better future has already begun. So thank you to my friend, Councilman for this area, Mr. Adam Bazador. And I know Councilman Omar Narvaez is on his way. Councilman Narvaez chairs the city's Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and the North Central Texas Council of Governments, DART, and the Federal Highway Administration, and to your respective staffs that have worked around the clock to secure this grant and make today a reality. I'm now going to turn it over to my good friend, the Councilman for District 7, Mr. Adam Bazaldua.
Thank you, Congresswoman. It's always bittersweet to have to follow you on the microphone. Good morning, everyone. I'd first like to ask my colleagues to come up here with me because, as you know, our form of government, there's nothing we can do on our own at City Hall. This was a collective effort, and I would like to also acknowledge that we have former council member Casey Thomas here, who really was committed to the fight for equity. So thank you for paving the way for us to prioritize projects like this. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I want to say a special thank you to my friend and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Thank you so much for your advocacy. Thank you for your dedication to your constituency. This, for those of you who don't know, was a grant that was applied for and did not get awarded originally. But the second time around, because of the heavy lifting being done by our Congresswoman, we have the necessary investment in an area that has been neglected for too long and not had the investment that is needed. I also want to thank Forest Forward CEO Elizabeth Watley and all of your team, not only for hosting us today, but because you are a part of the catalyst that is what we are investing in the Martin Luther King corridor. So thank you for your leadership. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is one of our main roadways here in District 7 that connects neighborhoods, businesses, and where many of our residents pass through daily. This grant will greatly impact surrounding neighborhoods by increasing pedestrian and cyclist safety, street lighting, accessibility for people with disabilities, and encouraging connections between communities, schools, parks, and businesses. Improvements along MLK Boulevard brought in by Safe Streets for All is an immense step in bringing a streetcar back to the area and providing modern and safe access to transportation to such a large part of District 7. An area that has been historically neglected and is finally getting the love and investment that it needs and deserves. In addition to this grant, as Congresswoman mentioned, the City of Dallas is matching $5.25 million in matching funds to go towards these efforts. This grant wouldn't be possible without the incredible partnerships that we have with the U.S. Department of Transportation, NCT COG, DART, TxDOT, and our state and federal delegation. But I also want to acknowledge all of our City of Dallas staff that's here today, because we know that none of it would happen without all of y'all's hard work. So thank you to all of our City of Dallas staff. Now, I would like to introduce the Honorable Nicole Raphael with St. Philip's. And I would like to just say a big thank you to all of the community leaders. I see Miss Eva Jones here from Queen City. And thank y'all, Miss LaCheryl Walker, also with Forest Forward. But thank y'all for y'all's leadership in our community as well. What's that? Oh, yeah, we can say.
All right, we're excited. Greetings to the City of Dallas and honorable elected officials. I am proudly here today representing Dr. Terry Flowers and St. Philip's School and Community Center. We are completely delighted with all the organizations that came to support this effort. I want to give a special shout out to the Real Estate Council, who has been a big part of the Dallas Catalyst Project, that has been in the background, making some moves, doing some talking, and the advocacy work that we here at St. Philip's has done, Cornerstone has done, Forest Forward has done. I want to say also a big thank you to Ms. Kiara Williams with the transportation team. City of Dallas, you have an amazing team. You are amazing in the work that you are doing today. I am from Dallas, born and raised, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be here and to see this work happen in this community. At St. Philip's, we believe that everyone matters. We believe everyone is more than what they see. South Dallas is more than what you see. Martin Luther King is more than what you see, and we appreciate everything that you are doing, City of Dallas, federal government, U.S. Department of Transportation, what you are doing for our community here. Thank you also for the work that you're doing along MLK in revitalizing this neighborhood. So the safety of our residents is important. We thank you for saying to our community that you matter. Your safety matters. Now, with that having been said, in the years to come, we hope that we will be that this will be more than a walkable neighborhood, that more residents can use and bike in this community. We're also hopeful for the improvements, that it will attract the amenities that this community deserves. So again, thank you so much. Thank you, Adam Bazadua. You're amazing. Thank you, Madam Jasmine Crockett. You are amazing.
But we love you.
This community is endured with these diamonds in our community who are moving us forward. And this is no small feat that our elected officials say that we all matter in this community. So thank you so much for what you're doing, because it wouldn't happen without your advocacy, with your support. Thank you for what you're doing, because you matter here in our community and you're saying we matter. So thank you. I can't express to you how much this means to us. Now, with that having been said, I'm going to invite Ms. Elizabeth Watley, our illustrious leader here at Forest Forward, who has a vision that we are also bought into. And so, Elizabeth, it's yours.
Welcome. It is so exciting to see all of you here today in sunny South Dallas, where it never rains and the sun always shines. Today's an important day. I will absolutely highlight that Forest Forward is the new kid on the block. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and people like you have been committed to this work for decades. So thank you for that. The community leaders that are here, our council representatives, the city of Dallas. I too am a Dallasite. I grew up in the Cedar Crest neighborhood, and so South Dallas has always been a very important community to me. It has been phenomenal to see the leadership come together and band together to bring the very best to sunny South Dallas. It's something that we don't waver on. It's something that we don't accept less than the best. It's something that Forest Forward stands on, and all of the community partners here as well. We sought out years ago, pre-COVID, to raise $30 million to bring to this neighborhood. I'm very proud to say to date that Forest Forward has been able to bring over $60 million to this work to bring the Forest Theater back to life. Now that's a big number, but we're still working. So keep me on the hotline. But I say that because everyone has contributed to this work. Councilman Basil Dewitt, it has just been a pleasure. We are going to get this done, and I appreciate you standing side by side with us to continue to lead the effort. Congresswoman Crockett, wow. Let's get this over the finish line. We're that close, and Kendall has already been calling like, here's how you get this done. So thank you. South Dallas is no longer a community that has been underserved, and it is now a community to be prioritized in all conversations, in all spaces. So before I leave, I just want to say thank you, and don't stop watching and paying attention to the special things that are happening here. It's happening here because of people that are here and the residents that are here. That is the true community that is here, the residents. So I'm going to bring Councilman Basil Dewitt back up for some words.
I just would like to introduce our Mayor Pro Tem, Tanel Atkins, to say a few words.
Again, thank you. Thank you, Colonel Crockett. Thank you, Councilman Basil Dewitt. But also, I want to say one thing. 50 years ago, almost 60 years ago, I went to the movie theater right here. Think about it. Over 50 years ago. 50 years ago, we had a streetcar. Now, it takes 50 years now to bring a streetcar back because of you, Councilwoman Crockett, because of you, Councilwoman Blackman, Marino, and Omar. But it's all about the community. It's all about the community, that undeserved community. You are the best. You should give yourself a round of applause and say, for all these many years you stand still, you stayed in the community, you did not move out of the community, you stayed here. You stayed here to make sure the development comes forward. And so with that, I'm going to bring up my main chairman of transportation, Omar Navarez.
Good morning, everyone. I am so honored and thrilled to be here, and I see my former colleague, Casey Thomas, right over there. And what Mr. Atkins just said is absolutely true and accurate, that this community stood strong. This community did not leave, and this community did not back down. This community said that we deserve. This community said that we must have. This community elected a congresswoman who showed up and came back because she heard them And thank you, Congresswoman Crockett, because I know getting $21 million out of the Fed ain't an easy thing, especially for an historically black community. And the other thing that I'll say is that we sent a congresswoman up there to D.C. who also won't back down, who won't be quiet, and who makes sure that this community is getting the things that it deserves. Now, I can tell you that I've got a lot of experience. Let's wave and say hi to the... He agrees. So what I'm getting to is that this project is going to bring us much needed public safety as well. And when we talk about public safety, we also have to think about the reimagination of it. Because public safety isn't just about police. Public safety is also about you being able to walk up the street and not get hit by a car and killed. Because a police officer can't stop that from happening. Public safety is making sure that you have enough, an ability and a way and enough different ways to get to your job so that you can feed your family, so you can pay your mortgage or your rent. Because last I heard, housing is a public safety issue. Without housing, we can't do anything. So what we're going to talk about here really quick is along that corridor, we're going to have we have diverse neighborhoods. We have the, this is getting funny over here. We have community destinations from one end to the other, including schools, community centers, libraries, museums, and a cultural center, health centers, religious facilities, transit facilities, grocery stores, and parks. The Martin Luther King corridor is so vital and important to our community and to our neighbors and everything that goes on here in very sunny South Dallas today, right? By reducing the number of traffic lanes from 6 to 4 and adding separated bike facility in each direction, improving intersections and pedestrian accommodations, and installing various pedestrian safety countermeasures and transit bus stop improvements, we will make this boulevard a safer place to visit, to drive, and even walk. I want to iterate that this would not have been possible without the support and the successful now partnerships with NCT COG, which many of us are board members of now, St. Philip's School and Community Center, TREC, and the Federal Highway Administration. In addition, DART is contributing $200,000 towards the project for bus shelter upgrades. We have desperately needed those bus shelter upgrades. This is not enough. We finally got a bench, but we need more. But you see, we brought in our tents to protect us from what's not raining anymore, so good. Also, I'd like to thank city staff and City Manager Broadnax, Director of Transportation, Mr. Concarly, the Fund Development, and several other city staff members that put this application and project together. Now, we're all excited to see how this boulevard will change in a few years. I can't wait to get to come back like my colleague, Mr. Thomas, is a regular old citizen and get to sit here and see all the things that the future councils will be doing. But I can't wait to see this completed with our congresswoman coming back to cut the ribbon to make that done. See Mr. Basil Dua, let me tell you, you got a fearless leader over here, Mr. Basil Dua, who sometimes when we don't even want to hear it, he's still going to come tell us. And that's a good thing. But what I'm most excited about is I just recently met about the Forest Theater, and just want to say, I told you that stuff would be coming. I told you not to stop. You didn't. And now look at where we're at today. Now, we still got a lot of work to do. St. Philip's, we still got a lot of work to do. Congresswoman, we still got a lot of work to do. Mr. Basil Dua, we still have a lot of work to do. And I know with my other colleagues that are here, Mr. Atkins, Ms. Blackman, and Mr. Moreno, that we will not stop working until we get every single neighborhood exactly like what MLK is going to be in a few years. Congratulations, thank you. Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you, Mr. Basil Dua. And I think that I'm getting the nod to be quiet. And my mom always said, don't get in the way of people that are about to hand you a big old fat check. So I think, Congresswoman, you want to come up here, and Mr. Basil Dua, I think you're going to want to be up here too, and all my other colleagues, and the other people that were speakers. We'll start there, and then from there we're going to go into all the other folks, because I know a lot of people probably want to hold this big old check.
Thank you. Yeah, I know, right? Before the government shuts down. child. Listen, you know what? I'm glad that this is the photo that we're about to do right now, because nothing happens unless there's a coalition that is willing and ready to work together. And let me tell you, I have the best partners. Not only am I elected partners, because they will call, text, send an email, track down my staff, whatever, advocating for their constituents, but it's also my community partners. Listen, this ain't the first check that Nicole done seen this year. It ain't. Listen, St. Phillips is so much more than a school. They are so invested in this community. And I promise y'all, they are working very hard to not only make sure that those kids have the environment that they deserve to learn in, but also just making sure that the community as a whole is brought up. And so I appreciate y'all. And clearly, y'all just heard Elizabeth. We've been talking about the coins. We are going to make this happen. But this is what it looks like when you have a full team of people that are committed to making sure that the work is done. You work together. It's never about I, it's always about we. And so I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to serve with y'all. And I'm going to say this last thing. I would be remiss if I did not mention my predecessor and her commitment specifically to infrastructure. Now, I know she was probably a little nervous when she picked me because, you know, I'm the civil rights girl and I love the court fights. But I knew that it was important that I carry on her legacy. I know that she has always been committed to making sure that Dallas had infrastructure that Dallas didn't even recognize it needed. And so while when you see me on TikTok, it's probably not talking about the latest roads and bridges, just know that I can do what I gotta do when it comes to committee work, but I'm also doing the hard work, the things that usually aren't covered in the news like this. Because this is what matters. And so let me tell you, I am working every single day to make sure that I live up and I honor her legacy. But knowing that she was a transportation and infrastructure champion, I would be remiss if I did not say, rest easy, Congresswoman, we got you. With that, this is what all y'all came for. The only thing that matters.
Do we want to move this?
Can we move this back? Watch out.
Or we should move ahead of it.
Yeah, move it back. Makes it easier.
There we go.
We may start a fire, but as everybody finds out.
And we just have one last announcement.
My team is going to kill me, but I forgot the groundbreaking of the Forest Theater is on 4/4/24. Save the date. We are going to start construction on the historic Forest Theater. Come celebrate with us. Yes. It's January 27th. Can you do it? DCPT. And on January 27th, we have the DCP. You talking about the train? The DC. We're celebrating the work and the partnership of St. Phillips, Cornerstone, and Forest Forward. And Trek.
I just wanted to let everyone know that as we now conclude, if you have any questions, if there's any questions from the press, you can definitely feel free to ask at this point in time.
Yeah,
performances, and I feel really blessed to have